Hello, everybody, and welcome to our post GTC highlights. Yeah. So this, I don't even know where to start. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this in such a short space of time because it's just so much. But just wanted to do this just to obviously inspire and infuse the people who weren't there, and also to just kind of share the love with all the people who were there. And there was so much to fill you in on, but I'm not going to go into all the details of all the updates because a lot of them are on the website and we're going to be emailed about them and things like that. But first of all, I would just say, like, if you weren't there this year, put it in your diary right now and be there next year. It's the 17th of April, starts on the 17th of April. So it's actually the Easter week. So put it in your diary now and just commit to being there, because what it does for your belief, your vision, your clarity of where you're going, your vision, your knowledge, your inspiration is just off the chart. And I know we always say it before we go, and it's really kind of hard to put into words, but I hope that you can feel our buzz from the people that were there when you come back. And that's why I wanted to do this so quickly, because it's still like here, we're all still like buzzing through our veins. But when you see 16,000 consultants in the arena, and when you feel 16,000 Arbonne consultants, you know that you are in the right place. And everything that happens outside of the arena, all the no's, all the rejections, all the no-shows, all the naysayers, all the stuff that goes in your mind disappears, because you just makes you feel so sure that you are doing the right thing, because so many other people are doing it, and not just other people, so many other phenomenal people, kind, caring, beautiful, the best people in the world. Like, literally, when you hear them speak, you're like, oh my gosh, I have found gold in this business. And you just can't put it into words. And so it's like everything that I kind of talk about, we all bang on about getting to trainings and reading and everything like that. But it really is like, I'll bang on about it again and again and again, because I know what it's done for me as a person and also for my business. And I feel like I have to infuse that in other people and tell them, that you really, if you want your business to succeed, like, you have to be at these things. And I know that Vegas obviously is a huge expense, and for most people, it's quite a big thing to pay out for, but it's a massive investment. And so if you were being paid £10,000 a month, which you will be if you stick and you become a nation, you make that back, and you get it back in kind of in a few years' time. And so I've always gone, I from the first year that I started, I was totally skinned, but I made it work. And there's a lot of other people who are. So it's just that commitment to your business and to yourself. So anyway, just wanted to say that, because I don't want anyone to miss out next year, because it was just phenomenal. So just a really quick update on a few of the really exciting things. So you've probably seen all the new exciting products, which are awesome. And there's videos on the YouTube channel, so check them all out. But that was such an exciting night, the launch with the new device, which Michael Darminio, our kind of head of products and design, has been working on for 3 years. He was so cute. He was so excited. And it's absolutely like revolutionary and totally on trend with the times of what's going on in the health and wellness industry. So check that out and kind of watch the video about that, because that was amazing. Obviously the new men's set, the new makeup is absolutely incredible. So the new makeup, the Genius Ultra, the device, you can order now, but you'll get it in June. But if you order it now, then the QV counts for this month. And then some of the makeup's available, and then all the other products, apart from the protein powder, which is going to be launched in the UK later. So that's one thing that we have not got right now. But yeah, all the new products, absolutely incredible. And then obviously the announcement about New Zealand was just super exciting, because that's happening in like 2 months. So if you know anyone in New Zealand, absolutely, get on the phone, or if you know anyone who knows anyone in New Zealand, because that's just so exciting, like a whole new market, and so close to Australia. So it's going to be a really booming market straight away. And then Taiwan, oh my gosh, that got me super excited. That was one of my highlights, because it's just so exciting. We're launching into Asia, and what I kind of took from GTC, and what I always take, and actually the biggest thing that I loved about it, I'm kind of asking everyone to share one thing that they loved and one thing that they learn about it. apart from everything I've just said, is the corporate team and the corporate team, Kay Napier, or Kay Zanori, because she's got married, so she's changed her name. Kay, the corporate team, the company are so professional and they are so on point with what they're doing. And so, sometimes we kind of feel like we're independent consultants, we're going out there, we've got our team, and we sometimes hear from UK corporate, but we don't see it that often. But when you see the US corporate team, also Vicky Beckett included, all the corporate team, you just know that they are so incredible at what they do, and they're like the top of their game in everything they do. And so when they're talking about the launch into Taiwan, they have thought that through big time. So, to launch into Taiwan is it's just massive, because we will obviously then, that's a springboard to the rest of Asia, which will happen in the next few years. And so that's just a huge market. And we had I can't remember the title, but she's kind of in charge of Taiwan business at the moment. And she was just so incredibly sweet. And just another amazing lady who seems like she's going to absolutely on it. And what they've done is they've launched products specifically for Taiwan. So we've got brightening products, which is massive because Taiwanese people and Asian people want brightening products for their skin. So they've really thought that through. And also RE9 specifically designed for Asia because of the climate and things like that. And the packaging and everything that's gone into it is just so professional and so well thought out. So I just got super excited about that, because I was like, oh my gosh. And I've got a friend in Taiwan, and so I'm like, I am absolutely going to rock Taiwan. So that for me was one of the biggest great things. We've also launched the new mobile app. So I don't know if everybody's downloaded it yet, but Get My Office, which is incredible, because again, it's just everything they've thought about is just totally kind of on trend with what's happening, and the fact that we are a mobile, an internet business, and everybody uses their mobiles now, so it's so much more accessible for people. So I just wanted to do a quick update, but as I said, there's way too much to kind of go into, so check it all out on the website and on YouTube. And for me, the love, one of my biggest loves is the feeling that you get in the arena. And that comes from the corporate team. It also comes from Peta, who obviously is passed away now, but his son is the managing director, and we always hear from him. And his mum is there, so Peta's wife. So you feel the kind of family feeling, the ethos and the ethics, and you just feel all that when you hear from them. They're just amazing. And you also just see the vision. So Stian, Peta's son, actually said, he stood on stage and he got a bit emotional because he looked around and he just said, oh my gosh, like if my dad could see this now, like 36 years ago, this was his vision. And, however many years ago, there was 100 of them at their national training conference, and now there's 16,000 people. And it does just blow you away a bit. You're like, whoa. And what that really made me see was like, that has to be our visions. Like we have to build our visions massive, and really take that from Peta, because what an amazing visionary to be, kind of in his footsteps. So let's all like really work on our visions and just build them every single day. Like that always just blows me away. And the legacy that we can leave behind with this business, because already that is what he's done. Like he's already changed our lives. And we're just in the beginning. The people that have been doing this business for 20, 30 years who are millionaires are absolutely changing lives through incredible philanthropic causes and things like that, doing lots of charity work. And it's just phenomenal when you see that. You're just like, oh my gosh, this business is so much bigger than me just trying to pay my rent. There's so much more to it. Like we can literally, I know it sounds really cheesy, but you genuinely feel like you can change the world person by person, because that is what he's done. So that for me was my biggest love, and my biggest learning thing, I think, from this year, there's so much, it's so hard to kind of pick one, was Taiwan. Kind of, first of all, I've spoken about that, but also was the adversity that every single national vice president speaks about has gone through. Like every single national vice president has not had this easy. Like they've not just spoken to a few people and everyone said yes. They have spoken to hundreds, thousands of people. They have done hundreds of events. They have done millions of one-to-ones, and they have have more adversity than anybody else. And that is why they're a national vice president. And so someone said, like, you just have to choose to stay And you just have to choose to stay and to see it through, because if you do, you will be a national vice president. And like the keynote speaker, not the keynote speaker, Cecilia Stoll's replacement. Cecilia Stoll is the top income earner, and unfortunately she couldn't be there because of family reasons. So she had someone step in literally like 3 days before, which was phenomenal. And she was absolutely mind-blowing. But she lost her nation. So at every level you get to, you can lose your title through obviously people not doing anything, or the kind of people quitting and things like that. So she lost her nation, but then built it back. And I think it's just amazing to see, because you just have to ask yourself, like, would I do that? Like how down and how absolutely heartbroken she must have felt, but she got back up and she got back on and she just kept going, and now she's got a phenomenal business and was just the most incredible speaker. So I think that for me is always something that I take away from it, and I always like to share with people, because I think it's easy to see the national vice presidents as like these shiny people that have just like look amazing and have made it work so easily, but they've not, like they've gone through it all. So yeah, that's all from me. I'm going to pass it over to the other fabulous attendees. Wingster, I'll unmute you. Go for it, hon.
Okay, so my love is going to be quite selfish, so bear with me, because my one learning thing will bring it all back. So basically, when I started this business, I always felt like, as a human being, probably just from low self-worth and everything else, like I always felt a little bit undervalued. Like I remember that I said yes to this business because I came to a social, and like I just loved the people and I just wanted to be part of that. I remember sitting there on the end and not feeling part of it, but like being like I desperately want to be part of it. I remember going to my first GTC, and Han, although she did know a lot more people in Arbonne before she started, but she'd always be like hi, and I'd always be like, oh, just sort of in the background wishing so desperately that was me. And went from like day dot of doing Arbonne, like I've always gone to everything. Like if there's a social, I've been there, because I desperately wanted to have that in my life, because that was why I said yes, a massive part of why I said yes. That, and obviously the money. And I always, for a long time, I'm not just talking like 1 year or 2 years, I've been doing Arbonne nearly 4 years. And actually, I'd say for the first 2.5, I really felt like nobody really knew who I was. I was district, and then, oh, sorry, someone's just replied to me on Facebook. Let me just cancel that. And I had this massive moment. So before I went to GTC, me and Martin went to to LA, sorry, where we met independent consultant and executive area manager Louise Thompson. And we had the best time, and we went to Universal Studios for free because Louise works there. And Lou is actually from the English team, and she's gone out to the US. And then we drove in a convertible Mustang to LA and to Vegas, and I was just saying all the way, like, oh my God, I'm so excited to see my friends. Like I was so excited to see Hannah and to see Sarah and to see like Roxy and to see Greta and to see everybody there. And I walked into the arena, and Anna West was like, Hannah Wing! And like Anna West is like an executive region, soon to be nation, giving her the biggest hug. And like everyone was like, Hannah Wing, saying hi. And you know what? I realized that just merely by staying, because although I'm about to be in area, my business is not necessarily anything to write home about. Like it's getting there and it's getting bigger, but it's been a long time coming. But it's simply from staying and from going to everything. And I earned that just by staying and going. And I know that probably doesn't seem like much to many people, but I also feel like we like crave to be recognized. It's so cool to see Sarah Dunning and her be like, Hannah Wing, how you doing? And see people. And like we went for dinner on the last night, and Hetty came. She actually didn't stay because her boyfriend was falling asleep at the table. Hilarious. Literally, he was asleep at the table. He was very tired. It's tiring in Vegas. But Het's like a nation, and she came to dinner with us. And like all of those moments, like that's my favorite thing about events. I just love being with the people. And I, for a long time in my whole life, in everything I did, dance, college, everything, I always felt like a bit of an outsider. And Arbonne, I feel so included. And that is because I go to everything. And I think that is really, really vital to success in this business. And so I just want to urge you all to like just ensure that you go to everything, because it is so great to feel included. Anyway, that it probably is a bit of a random love. I don't know if that works, Paige.
Yeah, no, I love it. I totally love it, because it is that whole thing of like you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, isn't it? And it is like
Mm.
definitely the whole recognition thing. I feel that as well. I think that's just a part of like human nature, isn't it? You want to feel recognized and valued and appreciated. And when you, like you said, when you start to have that in Arbonne, like, it's been one of my favorite things about it, like getting the jewellery, but also like getting the validation and the recognition is amazing. So no, I love that. That's brilliant.
And the other thing that makes you feel is it makes you feel like a nation. Like when you're with, if you ever try to walk anywhere with Hetty, people just stop her constantly. You'd literally get nowhere fast. Like I was talking to Stuart Armfield's boyfriend last year, and I was like, "Oh, where's Stu?" And he said, "Oh my God, I had to ditch him because I could not get anywhere." Now, obviously, that wasn't quite happening to me, but that is how it feels, and whatever you can do to feel that thing, and for me, that's what it feels like. So just like go to everything and be at everything to feel that thing, to become a nation. And I just totally secondhand thing of like being in that arena, like. You can watch the videos definitely and you'll get the same information, but the information is the information. If you go to training, you hear it. We get great training in the UK. It's that shared consciousness that you feel in a church or you feel anywhere. It doesn't have to be religious. It just, I am a believer that we do have that like shared consciousness. I think you have that if you believe in law of attraction or anything. And just like imagine learning the information that you see at a region training, but sharing the learning experience with 16,000 other people that are eager and keen and buzzing. And that is what it is. Like I wish that we could put it into words, but I'm hoping that my love thing really might help you see why you need to be at these events. So for a long time, well, my whole Arbonne business, every time something's not gone my way, I felt very bad for myself. And one of the key kind of themes of this year was that it really isn't about you. Now, in the past, I used to think, yeah, it's not about me, it's about the team, it's about helping people. It's not about any Arbonne consultants. It actually isn't. Like, if you eat, if you sleep under a roof, and if you aren't living somewhere where there's warfare, then you really have everything that you need to survive in this world. And if money or anything like that is your reason and your why for doing this business, you might get to nation. You might. I actually don't think that you will, because that's always been my why, is to have a great life, to share it with my family. But I already have a great life, and I have a great boyfriend. We live in a nice house. We pay our bills. We don't have loads, but we have enough. Am I content with what we have? Content, yeah. Am I thrilled? No, of course I want more. But I think because I am content and I am surviving day by day, that doesn't push me to do more, because I'm quite good at this business. If I speak to enough people, generally people say yes. And I have, Amira's evidence that I can coach people to district. So why am I not a region or a nation? And it's actually because my why is not big enough, because it's easy to procrastinate and watch Vampire Diaries. It's easy to not do it. I'm quite naturally slim, so it's easy not to go to the gym. Eventually I feel bad and I go, but not enough to be ripped, which is how I want to be, because my why isn't big enough for it. And it's the same with Arbonne. So you need to find, if you're not where you want to be, find a cause that you absolutely love, that makes you cry. Go and watch something on the internet every day. Go and read something about this cause every day. Find something, whether it's Haiti, whether it's Syria, whether it's children in the UK that are abused, whether it's whatever it is. It needs to be big. It needs to be something that person cannot do without you, that you can't, but you can help, but you can't help right now. And the only way that you can help is to be a nation. And the same girl that Han was talking about, she's just built like 50 homes in Haiti. She's raised I can't remember how much it was, but a ridiculous amount of money from Arbonne consultants, probably mostly nations. And they've just gone and built like 50 homes in Haiti. These people were living in tents, and she built them houses. And I think that is what it's about. It's not about us. It's not about anyone on this Zoom. And if you make it about those people cannot survive without you. Like they can't. People will die if you don't get to nation. People will starve. Children will starve if you don't get to nation. People in the world, like, you can make the biggest difference. But it can't be that it's about you, that it's about making a bit more money for you or for your family. Like, I know that you that's important, don't get me wrong. And if that drives you to tears where you can't bear every day not to be a nation, then great. But if not, then that's not big enough. And you need to find something that's such a massive cause that you have to do it. And that's the biggest thing that I kind of got from GTC.
Oh, yes, Hannah, my gosh, I love it. Yeah, no, I completely second that. And was actually last year I came back, and that was my biggest thing was that I took away from it. But again, it's always like emphasized. And actually it was someone spoke this year that wasn't even a consultant. It was a husband of a new national vice president, and he's a major, I don't know the title, but he's in the Navy, like quite high up. And basically he fights obviously in the Navy, and she wanted him to speak because she'd taken 8 years to get to nation, and I think she wanted him to kind of like say, you know, what they'd gone through and stuff, and he did. But he also just talked about the fact that he said sometimes when I'm out in the Middle East and we're fighting, I know, as you know, obviously lots of people are in the world, we often talk about like, what are we fighting for? And he said, and I was in the vice president's leadership meeting yesterday, and I realised like Arbonne is what people are fighting for. Like the people in Arbonne are what the world needs. And that really like hit me, and it's something that I've been on a kind of journey with for the last year in lots of different personal development ways and people's trainings and things. But like Han said, like he just said, so if you are looking in the mirror and you decide not to do what you've said you're going to do, like just think about all those people who are literally like fighting for their country and fighting for their lives. And it really, like, there's so many people crying and stuff and there was also on that same vein, there was the Charitable Foundation incredible kind of presentation from a girl. They've helped in the last year a charity for children with cancer. And this girl got up and she was 14, and she's been fighting cancer since she was 12. And oh my gosh, she was amazing. So she's gone through like 2 years and she'd gone into remission and she was all good. And she's actually, this charity who the Arbonne Charitable Foundation have helped her like record an album. She wants to be a singer, and she was just so brilliant at 14. And then she said that she'd been diagnosed with cancer, like it come back. And oh my God, like everybody was just in absolute tears. And it just really, I just wrote in massive letters, like, how lucky are we? Like, how lucky are we, like Han described, to be in a country where we have freedom and we can go out in the street and we have running water. And also, like, how lucky are we to have our health and our wellness? And I, you know, when I write my gratitude list, I do write that every day. Like, I'm so grateful for my body, for my healthy body and mind. And it's all kind of on the same wavelength. But one of the national vice presidents said, like, we've got gold dust in our backpacks and we don't even know it, because this is the chance to do what Han just said, to literally like change those people's lives. And there's so many other people out there who will never have those opportunities. And so that just, yeah, always kind of hits me massively. Like, it's a huge, your why is, it makes, and a lot of people I think that's great for, because some people struggle to find their why that's going to push them enough. So then if you can find a why like that, it's something that really motivates you, that you think, oh my gosh, like, I want to leave this world and leave a legacy and to be spoken about in this kind of way and to have affected the world in this way, then that's just awesome. Yeah, so sorry to kind of go on that, but I love that, Han. Yeah. So over to who'd like to speak next? Rox. Yay. Yeah, Rox.
God, it's incredibly hard to follow the pair of you.
Don't be silly.
And for me, I think everything that you've said is, yeah, that was what made it so monumental, really. And being in the same room, and the fact that we had these flashing wristbands that lit up and everybody was kind of moving as one. Is yours still going?
Yeah. Oh, it just, yeah, look.
So that was the first incredible thing, really, that when we were all everybody was in their seats and the thing started, the song came on, and all of a sudden all of our wristbands lit up. I mean, it was just phenomenal, wasn't it? But anyway, for me, I think it's similar to what Hannah was saying about, I mean, this was only my second GTC. And although I go to trainings, I can't always get to the London ones. And so there's a few people I know. But, Hannah and Hannah are both so popular. I mean, they're such great girls anyway. But they literally know everyone. Whereas you all stood there going, who's that? Who's that? I don't know that person. But anyway, but that is what is great, because you do make new friends, and that was brilliant, you know. And, you know, I got a chance to you know, bond more with Jennifer and Drew and Pippa Joe. So 3 people who aren't connected to me in any way, shape or form. So that was lovely. But going back to what Hannah was saying about, you know, feeling like a national vice president and that kind of thing, because I don't feel like that. And I'm sure a lot of us don't when we're on the early days of what we're doing, or, you know, the fact that we're still on the first rung of the ladder or getting to the first rung of the ladder. So for me, I mean, Miranda was my favourite person to speak, who, you know, was the girl that replaced Cecilia Stoll. I thought she was phenomenal. But the thing that stuck in my mind is Debbie Neal saying, be a snowball. So everybody starts off as a little snowball, and then you create momentum, and then you get bigger as a snowball, it gets bigger, 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 bigger. So that was the first thing. I was like, yes, I'm a snowball. And I've just got to get going. But the thing then that painted this was the other thing. I don't know about anybody else, but when people bang on about vision, I'm a bit like, I can sort of see me getting to the nation or whatever. And then beyond that, I'm a bit like, well, I don't know what I do, because your life changes, doesn't it? Your dreams change, things that you want change. So the thing that painted my vision was Debbie Neal saying, and then start other snowballs. So your team are snowballs that you help build momentum. And then she said, picture having 1,000 snowballs in your team that are all creating an avalanche. And that was when I saw the vision, and I was like, oh my God, you know, that is what it takes to build a nation. So yeah, it was just, that was a bit of a light bulb for me, that I'm the snowball, and then I create more snowballs. So there you go.
Love it, Rox. That's brilliant.
Yeah. So that's what stayed. So what was it? One love and one, what did you learn?
Yeah, like your biggest learning thing.
I suppose it was that, really.
Yeah. Combined.
Yeah, just that vision, and the fact, like you were saying, that everybody has had obstacles. So it sort of fills you with a bit of hope, and you think, yeah, you know, I've experienced that, or, you know, I think that was what was more evident for me this year, that MVPs were showing more of their vulnerability of things that went wrong. They weren't just saying, this is how you do it, this is how you do it. They were actually sharing a bit more about, you know, like Valerie saying, you know, she had no confidence and that kind of thing. So, yeah.
Amazing. Thank you, Lovely. That's brilliant. Yeah, I love that when Debbie said that, because I think it is like when you get a visual and you think, oh yeah, that is so true. And the whole, like, yeah, like just not just about us, like then about, there's some people that showed the pictures of their nations now, and they took up like whole corridors here, and you were like, oh my gosh, that's going to be us. That is going to be us and our whole nation. And it's going to compound, and suddenly it's going to exponentially grow, and we'll be like, oh, whoa, there'll be like hundreds of people on Zoom. And you're like, whoa. So yeah, thank you.
They said, this time next year, let's fill this room just with national vice presidents.
Oh, yeah. I was like, yes, let's do it.
And that's what it will be. That'll be the MVP retreat, will be MGM Arena, and literally it will just be insane.
16,000 MVPs. Yes, bring it on. Awesome. Thanks, Rox. Franny and Jennifer, do you guys want to go? I feel like a teacher. Hilarious. Oh, Franny's speaking. Here we go, Franny.
Oh, I was just saying I don't mind.
Oh, bless you. Go for it, hon.
I would say my love is very similar to the Wings one, in that it's all about like sidelines, and like being up in Scotland, don't necessarily see all the sidelines that are in this team a lot of the time. I see you guys on Zoom and stuff, but it's really nice spending time with everyone, not just in this team, but it's really great. It's kind of like, I had the same kind of thing, probably not on quite as big a scale as the Wing, but in that people know who I am now that I didn't realise know who I am. Like Ina Smith was going, oh hey, like I've seen you on the Zooms, oh hey, it's like it's really nice to see you. Vanessa Campbell, and like, so all the area managers, I've had a little chat with them, and Hetty, like when we were at the international drinks, Hetty was like, oh my gosh, Fran, I love your outfit, blah blah blah. It's just like, oh, like wow, like it's, and then speaking to like other people in the international Zoom that I've been on international Zooms with, like people in Australia and stuff, like, oh, like it's nice because people start to notice who you are, and it's like kind of said, it's because you've stayed. Like people see that you're there, you're at things, you're doing stuff, and it's, for me, that was great. And also on the way home, I had little travel buddies which I met. They were the Nessa's team, I think, Pablo and Lola.
Oh yeah.
On the same flight, along with pretty much every MVP was apparently on my flight to Manchester. It was like Scott Campbell, Sarah Dunning, Melanie Dean. They were all on there. And some RVPs that I'm from up north, so there's like Stephen Wilson was on there, and Kim Mellor, a couple of rows in front of me. Anyway, they were on the same flight as me going to Manchester, and then we all kind of changed over to get our flight to Dublin together, and we potted around together, and like I was like, I hope you don't mind me kind of tagging along with you. But they were really sweet, and like, do you make new friends? And they're obviously not connected to me in any way, shape or form. They're in Vanessa's team. So that was lovely as well. Like you always kind of meet people, like everyone in our bond's lovely, but then it's like on such a bigger scale. Anyone you meet a consultant, you can have a lovely chat with, or you can be travel buddies, and it's like, it's not awkward. It's like, it's great. And but it was like, it's only in hindsight now. It's probably, I hadn't thought about it until Hannah really said it. Then I thought, actually, it was great to have people recognise me and know who I am, because they've seen that I'm sticking with it. They've seen that I'm working at this thing. They know me, and they know that I'm here for the long haul now. So that's great. I'd say from what I've learned, obviously the whole thing as well, being in the arena and whatnot, and blah, 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 we've all gone into that. I say that as well. But what I've learned is probably more practical things as well. Like there was a whole thing about social media stuff, and Amy Sky did a fabulous training on social media. I'm still yet to download it. Is it called like Red Stripe or something? Or Red
Stamp.
Red Stamp.
Red Stripes of beer. I love it. Let's get partying, Franny.
So that, and also just tips on how to be smarter with it. And I know I need to up my Instagram game. I've had a one-to-one tonight with somebody who was it was more on a business level thing of how she does things with her business, and tips that she was giving me on how she has her social media presence. So that was really good. And also there was a really practical training about how to get your 2,500 building block that was in the district manager training, in consultant district manager training. That was brilliant. And I think it's the thing that Rox was saying as well, like the MVPs were more vulnerable and saying that they've done all this and this is how they've got through it. And what I noticed as well, that all the MVPs, none of them are the same. They're all themselves. And it's what Valerie was saying as well, is that like, be you because you're enough. Like, it would be boring if all the national vice presidents were the same. Like, and it's something that ties back to something I've heard on an audio from Stuart Armfield, is like, you have to get to be national vice president because there's no one else like you that's at that point yet. Like, you are fabulous as yourself, so that's what's going to attract the people. That's what's going to take you to nations. I saw that in they all had different. Obviously, Devin is like a powerhouse, but then there's Valerie who's really sweet and kind of like all kind of caring, and then there was Miranda who's very full on but quite emotional, and then there was Caroline and Bill, like you just can't help but just cry when you see Caroline. Like they're all different, and they've all got different backgrounds. They've all come on different paths, and that's what makes it everyone's journey so unique, and why everyone can all be at the top, can all be an MVP. So that's what I've learned.
Oh, I love it. Well done, Freddie. Thank you.
Well done.
Well done. No, I completely agree with all of that. I love. So I'm not gonna speak too much anymore because I keep speaking in between and realise it's 10:05. So I'm gonna unmute Jennifer, who's excitingly last, but also is our first time GTC. So this is like really cool because all of us other guys have been before. So take it away, Jennifer.
Okay, so I absolutely loved Vegas. I loved everything about it, and I think I've posted like my advice to get a direct flight because traveling like on 3 flights was quite hard and quite tough, and my body is still like in shock from that. But yeah, with regards to like the GTC, I just loved the energy in the arena. I never really pictured what 16,000 people in an arena look like. And then when I was there, I was like, oh, what? Oh my God. I was just like in so much shock, and it was pretty amazing. And yeah, I loved actually, because I'm quite a social person on the internet as opposed to on like face to face. So I got to meet lots of people who I'd spoken to on the internet, which was amazing, like from America. That's what I really enjoyed. And when I was at the pool party for the UK pool party, it was funny because, you know, everybody's saying about how you feel good that you're recognized by other people. Well, because I'm like in Liverpool, there's different groups. So there's different people in different nations. So there's Chester and there's like over in the world, and there's Liverpool. So it was good. And also I met some girls from Glasgow. So during that pool party, I just kept walking around and speaking to all these different people. And that was pretty cool, you know, thinking that it's not just the team that I'm in. Like, there's so much more to Arbonne. You know, there's more people, and, you know, from different teams we can all learn and grow and share what, you know, we've learned in that. And so I really like that. And so, yeah, what I learned was, so we are the answer. Basically, everything that we need to know, you know, we know our strengths and weaknesses. So like, let me just say this as well, and it's, you shouldn't compare yourself to anybody. So what I've done is, like, you know, I've been listening to Debbie Neal, because obviously, like Fran said, she's a powerhouse. She got to like nation within 6 months, but she had previous knowledge of personal development. And so it's important not to compare yourself to anybody else. And so going back to, we know who we are. So I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses, and I will be able to get to nation once I've worked on each of those weaknesses. And so I think, like, that's what I've learned from Arbonne. Like, we create our own success in on our own reality. And thank you to Roxana. She's like made me realize that what I'm saying, it's extremely powerful, because I was saying things like, I don't have friends, and it's like, well, of course you're never gonna have friends if you're speaking like that. but then I realized, actually, I do have a lot of friends. I mean, they're all in Arbonne, but I do have a lot of friends. And also from Debbie Neal, I've learned, you know, we have to eat, sleep, and breathe, and be completely obsessed about Arbonne. This has to become, if you want to get to the top of this company, if you want that MVP title, you just have to, like, make it your obsession, the desire, the passion. And that kind of goes with Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. You just have to, like, really focus on it, have a crystal clear vision, and just every day, that's all you do, all you think about, and then, yeah, success will come.
Yay! Oh, amazing. Thank you, Lovey. I love hearing from people that have been for the first time as well, because I think that I can see, like, first time attendees' faces, like, oh my God, because I remember what that felt like. It is just so epic. You're like, whoa. But yeah, I love that, hon, and well done, Rox, as well. Like, that, this is the thing, like, it's those conversations you have, you know, on a plane or by the pool that have such an impact. And by the way, Rox, you're an amazing leader. I love it. You're like coaching everybody. You're gonna be the best leader. Yeah. So I just loved all that. And like you said, like, a big running theme was about that, like, be the best you, don't compare, and just work on yourself. And it's been one of my massive learnings over my whole journey, is that just don't focus on your weaknesses, like, lead with your strengths and work on your weaknesses. And also, yeah, it does have to be a top priority. Like, if you want this business to work, like anything else in your life, what you put in time to grows. If you don't put time into it, it's not going to grow. So it has to be in your top 3 priorities, I would say, for maybe like 5 to 7 years that it takes to get to the top. So yeah, thank you, Jennifer. And it was so brilliant to spend time with you and get to know you as well. Like, I loved that. It was great. And well done for making that massive trek. That was quite take my hat off to all you guys who did that, like, three-legged. Oh my gosh.
Can
So yeah,
I
go for it, Han.
Oh, so I was just oh my god, I just actually loved what Jennifer just said about Roxy. That's really bad with Jennifer's. I did it with a Samantha the other day and I got told off, so she was like, it's Samantha. Okay, she's an album consultant. It was well received. I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. So what she said, what Jennifer said about Roxy, and also I think is what Han said, and it's so interesting that none of our loves really have been a specific training, but it's been those moments. So because when you're in Vegas, it's like being on a school, like a school retreat where you work with everyone, you spend all day with them, you socialise with them, you sleep with them, you go out with them. Like you don't take them in a rude way.
Whoa.
That kind of
It is.
do you remember, like, when you were at school, like sleepovers or things like that, when you really bonded? And that's why it's so brilliant. Like, the trainings are phenomenal, but you can get those on the source or on YouTube. But I was kind of thinking, all of those bits that we had, all of those moments are available in the UK, but you just have to go to everything. You have to go to socials. Like, Hetty does a London social once on a Monday, once a month. And hardly anyone went last time. And I go because I can't bear to miss. Like, that is when I've always got my best bits. Like, if you're not in London, if you're in Yorkshire or Southampton or Liverpool, like Jennifer said, she's gone and she's made friends with Sidelines. Just go. People are so welcoming. And do you know what? Even if they're not that welcoming at first, if you go a lot, they will get to know you. But you have to just be willing to just go till they know you. And then you have to create friendships. And it honestly is. It's that thing of, like, Roxy being brave enough to say to Jennifer those things. Or somebody else, like Sarah Holland, was asking me. And it's sometimes easier to coach people that aren't in your business. And it's also sometimes easier to be coached by people that aren't in your direct upline. So, like, those moments are all readily available for you in the UK, but you just have to be willing to go to stuff.
Oh, I love it. Thanks, Han. Thanks. Yes. Does anybody else have anything to say? Anybody that wasn't there? Any, like, questions or anything that has, like, gone off in your head while we've been chatting? No? I love it. Oh, we've all gone shy. Well, it's 10:15 anyway, so